Here's how you can make a future house banger like Vluarr in Ableton. So I started off with some simple chords and a melody on a piano, and they sound something like this. Now there is some vibrato in here, as you can see, so that there's some wobbles in pitch, and it adds some kind of vibrations and stuff to kind of simulate the old tape recording sound. Same for texture and vintageness, it's really cool. I have this high pass that I only turn on in the drop, so that I don't like the warmth of the piano in the break. I also have this sidechain that only plays with the kick. In the break I have a bit different MIDI, it's just a bit different chords without a melody. When I play them with the pad that plays the same MIDI, it's really pleasant to listen. And here I have a plug that plays the lead drop melody. And also a Reese bass. The Reese is sidechained by a really soft kick that I have in here in the break. In the meantime, we have these snaps. They're really useful for adding some groove but not too much rhythm. Also, in the track I have some ambient shots to fill out the empty spaces. Paired with a reverb, there are really great transition in the break. And we also have some guitars. The guitars are really useful if you want to get a lot of ambience throughout the whole break. There's also a drone. And I also have this vocal loop from Somatics. I added some downlifters. And I also added impacts. Now going into the build-up, I added some risers. I also have this automation that controls the reverb, high-pass filter and stereo width, so that we get a lot of tension throughout the build. Also, I turned the vocal loop into a riser. I use Graynor for this. Now we have these build-up loops. I introduced the melody with the drop leads with a low-pass filter. I started the drop by taking a really punchy Vluarr kick. I layered the kick with some really soft and short drop claps. I also got an 808 cashmere clap. And some clap loops. And some tom loops. And in the second half of the drop, I got some hi-hats. For the melodic drop elements, we're gonna start with a sub-bass to lay down the rhythm and the bass notes of the chords. It's just a sine wave down to octaves. Add some distortion, OTT, distortion and compression with Camel Crusher, a low pass filter, a utility to make it mono, a clipper, and just heavy sidechain. On top of that, we have a really gritty mid bass. It consists of 2 layers, with only the sidechain as the effects. They sound like this. So it's not that much, but it's still really useful. I use a clipper at the end to clip off the peaks, and I make the mid basses more mono, because what actually Vluarr does is his mid basses are quite mono compared to the highs and the leads. So I start off with a high pass filter and some distortion with kilohertz distortion, slight OTT and camel crusher, a final EQ. We also have some chords, starting it off with 2 vital soul chord layers. I get some OTT, a camel crusher, a filter to automate the chords high end, a high pass filter, and a clipper. And then just sidechain. Now, before we go into the other elements, I added some vocal breath sounds because Vluarr uses them to fill up the empty spaces in the drop, and they pair up with the drums pretty good. Now, going back, we have some one-shots to layer. Here's the first one-shot that I think even Vluarr himself used in By Myself. There's the second one-shot. And here's the third one-shot. And when we play all of them together, they sound really nice. If we were to play our whole stack that we already have, we should get something like this. The only thing left is the leads. Essentially what Vluarr does is he takes a bunch of square plugs, like these, and then puts some processing onto them, which is really important. For example, erosion. Like, as you can see, that's a lot of changes in there. You get way different results compared to most effects. This is crazy. I have this kilohertz gain for automations, and also this filter for automations. I have this reverb also for automations, and then I have some OTT and the camel crusher, some bit crushing also for automations, an autopan also for automation, and we have a clipper to clip off the peaks, a filter to add some final filtering automations, a high pass filter and some EQing, and the limiter. And then obviously we got some kickstart. Now in here I've got just the piano. Just for a moment, right? And the part of the vocals. In the second half of the drop we get these downlifters, which add some energy back. In the second break I start off with the soft kick and then I just don't add it in the second segment. I also add some shakers and shaker loops. They might sound weird on their own, but they are pretty good in the song. And we've got some fills in here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. In the second half of the drop I put the lead up 1 octave to give a different emotion. And in every second half of the drops we get harmonies on the leads, which adds some overtones to the drop. Now let's listen to the final result. that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, please leave a like, it helps me out a ton. And if you're not subscribed yet, be sure to click that button so that you don't miss any more cool tutorials like this one. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.